Salut tout le monde, je m'appelle Alex, and in this video we're going to talk all about Halloween in France and the French language that you can use to talk about it. Halloween isn't nearly as big of a deal in France as it is in the US or even in the UK. But the French do love to dress up and love to party, and my international group of friends will definitely faire la fête to celebrate. Stick around until the end when I'm going to tell you how you can get rewards for supporting the channel. Just before we get into the French language for Halloween, I need to give a shout out to today's sponsor, italki.com. If you're not already aware, italki.com makes it super easy to learn French by giving you access to thousands of language teachers and tutors at the click of a button. It's one of the main reasons why I've reached an advanced level in French. Not only is it convenient because you can take lessons from home, it's also cheaper, up to 30% in some cases when compared to the price of a physical one-on-one lesson. Regular watchers of this channel will know I'm a huge advocate of the self-study technique when learning a language, and having access to a private teacher just for your needs allows you to streamline the process of learning French by tailoring your lessons to what you need and the language you want to learn. This is a surefire way to success by reaching your goals. Goals such as wanting to learn the language for Halloween, for example. You can prepare whatever you need for your current needs, and the right teacher will be able to accompany you to reach those targets. If you're new to italki, you can click on the link down in the description to sign up and get $10 of free italki credit when you make your first purchase. So for more information and to get started with italki, head on down to the description and click on that link at the end of today's video. Du coup, si vous êtes prêt à apprendre à parler de l'Halloween, c'est parti! So the first one is something I mentioned at the top of this video, and that is faire la fête, and it can be used to talk about Halloween in French as well as many other party events. Faire la fête means to do the party or to make the party, which is something you might hear French people say when they're translating to English, but it just means to party it up, to go party. Faire la fête. Pour fêter l'Halloween, on va faire la fête. Now, what do we often do when we go to a Halloween party? We often dress up in costumes, and it was really annoying for me at first when I didn't know how to say this in French. But you can use the few forms of the same thing, which is déguiser. Déguiser, to disguise. If you're talking about you dressing up as something, you're also saying you're disguising yourself as something or someone. So the verb se déguiser means to dress oneself up, to disguise oneself. So you can say, je me déguise en vampire ou en zombie ou en autre créature effrayante. You can dress yourself up as, se déguiser en, and then the name of the costume or the character that you're going to dress up as. You don't need to mention the word costume. You can just say vampire ou zombie, and then autre créature effrayante, which means any other frightening creature. I don't know if you noticed already, but this message changes in every video, and today it's ça fait peur. Ça fait peur. It's the most French way of saying that's scary, that's frightening. Ça fait peur. And if you're confused a bit about the use of ça fait here, I'll leave a link up here to a video I've already done on ça fait, which is one of the most versatile and most used expressions in daily French. Still on the topic of déguiser, so you said se déguiser, to dress yourself up as something. But if you're a parent and you're going to dress up your kids, well, it doesn't make sense to say se déguiser. You're going to just use the form déguiser to say je déguise les enfants. Je déguise les enfants, and then use the same structure as before to say what you're going to dress up as. You say en, and then the name of the thing. Je déguise Alex en vampire, ou en sorcier, which is wizard, or sorcière, witch. And the French don't have a separate word for witch and sorceress. They're just saying sorcière, and the same for wizard and sorcerer. It's always sorcier, for example. I think my American followers will find that a bit easier because Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is the name of the first book in the US, but in the UK we call it the Philosopher's Stone. Fun fact. And then to talk about what you've come as, you could say je suis déguisé en vampire, ou je suis déguisé en sorcier, ou je suis déguisé en Superman, like that. So you can use être déguisé. And don't forget, if you're a female and you're actually writing this, although it's pronounced the same, you add the extra E because it's got to agree with the gender of the person. Something else we add to our costumes is makeup or face paint, where you can talk about putting makeup on, which is se maquiller, se maquiller, je me maquille, je me maquille. Something else that we often add to our scary costumes on top of the face paint is fake blood, du faux sang, du faux sang. It's always a thing I forget to buy until the last minute and then it's all sold out, you know. Now, one icon of Halloween, perhaps the icon of Halloween, is the carving of the pumpkins or the carved pumpkins. How would you talk about this action in French? Well, you talk about it by saying la sculpture de Citrouille. La sculpture, the sculpturing, the sculpture of de Citrouille. Citrouille, and granted, this is going to be quite difficult for a lot of you because that O-U-I-L-L-E is very difficult for us English speakers. But practice with me. Citrouille, citrouille, like that. It's very tricky, but practice makes perfect. So you may find different words for pumpkin, but la citrouille is the most common one that is associated with Halloween. To stay on the theme of carving the pumpkins, la sculpture de Citrouille, but to give you a more rounded, full example, is to say something like on sculpte des visages dans les citrouilles. On sculpte des visages dans la ou les citrouilles, depending on if it's singular or plural. So to carve is to sculpt, which should make sense to us English speakers because we have the same verb, and they would use sculpter here. So sculpter is the verb and la sculpture is the action, and also the name of a sculpture. So what do we do after we've done carving the pumpkins or sculpter les citrouilles? Well, we put a candle in the middle. So you can say that by saying on met, we put une bougie dedans. On met une bougie dedans. And dedans here acts as a pronoun. It replaces dans la citrouille or dans les citrouilles. Just says dedans. So we know that it's in the thing we've already been talking about. On met une bougie dedans. If you're watching this when I've already made a video on dedans et dehors, a link will be up here in a card in the top right hand corner. So why do we put a candle inside the pumpkin? Well, in French we could say pour créer une ambiance aussi sinistre que possible quand on éteint les lumières. To create an atmosphere as sinister, as scary as possible when we switch off the lights. I think sinistre is definitely the best word in that sentence. We can't talk about the creepiness and darkness of Halloween in French without talking about the French word ténèbres or les ténèbres. Now, it's a word which doesn't always translate directly to English very easily, but it's always in that same context of being about darkness. But not only darkness when we talk about the lights going off, but darkness in association with fear, that feeling you get. The darkness or an abyss, things like that. Things that lurk around in the shadows, lurking, creeping in the darkness. For those of you who are Pokemon fans, I've also seen that the word ténèbres is used to define the dark type Pokemon in French. So a dark type Pokemon in English is un type de ténèbres in French. Okay, geek moment over. I like this translation I got from my favorite online translator, Reverso, on which I've already done a video as well. And it goes like this. Pour apprécier la lumière, on doit accepter de voir les ténèbres. To appreciate light, we must accept that there is darkness. And it's always used, I think, in plural terms, les ténèbres. After Halloween, the day after Halloween, it's in English, I think, the All Saints' Day, a Christian holiday, and it's called le Toussaint in French, and it's actually a bank holiday or a public holiday in France. It's a day where the French remember their dead, and it's associated with the chrysanthemum flower. So you'll often see at markets more chrysanthemums on sale in France. The flower chrysanthemum, pronounced chrysanthème, le chrysanthème in French, is really associated with this festival. So you'll see a lot of chrysanthemums on sale in France during this period. I mentioned at the top of this video that if you're interested in getting rewards, such as getting your name featured in my videos, getting early access to my videos, and getting extended versions of my videos exclusively for supporters, you can head over to my website. A link is down in the description to find out how you can support me and support the channel and get rewarded in exchange for your generosity. Now you might be thinking, Alex, how can you tell us about French language for Halloween without telling us about trick-or-treating? How do we talk about trick-or-treating? There is a good reason for this. Halloween is a relatively new thing in France, so they don't have one official way, as far as I know, for talking about trick-or-treating. I asked a few people who have kids or are native French people who are living over that side of the Atlantic, and they told me that you might hear many different things, such as bêtise. Bêtise. You can talk about it saying things like la friandise, which that will teach me to interpret text rather than speaking to people, but it's more like bêtise ou friandise. Bêtise ou friandise, said like a little melody, like trick or treat. Bêtise being mischief or to cause mischief, tu fais des bêtises, and friandise being a cute term for sweet treats. Bêtise ou friandise, trick or treat. And I also heard things like you could simply just say trick or treating and then the rest in French, like on fait le trick-or-treating, on fait du trick-or-treating, things like this. Wouldn't surprise me if that's the official or the most official term because it's so new. The French tend to just pick up English words, sometimes get them right, sometimes not. So, peu importe où tu vis, qu'est-ce que tu fais pour fêter l'Halloween cette année? Tell me down in the comments below what it is that you're doing for Halloween, no matter where you live. If you enjoyed this video, guys, do click on that like button down below. It really helps me reach a bigger audience. If you haven't subscribed already and you want to make sure you don't miss out on any of my future content, click on the circle with my face in over here. You can click ici ou là to watch another video from the channel. But until next time, bonne Halloween, à la prochaine, ciao.